Hello guys, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings. Tonight I'm just going to keep it very small video, going to go fast. I'm not going to spend too much time in introduction. I'll just say a few words about the introduction, but you can watch my previous videos. So anyways guys, today was a big day, big all-time high breakout on SPY. Market was super duper bullish, and we just were long all day on the market. SPY, QQQ, Apple, all of those setups were super duper strong, and we'll talk about that. And it was planned, right? I'll show you before and after. We were ready for this. I already knew, that's why it was super confident. But we did have some shorts as well, right, in the community. Google was a nice short. Google was a nice short in the community. There are, a bunch of other shorts. So we'll discuss all that. And just a quick introduction to anybody new. All these trade recaps, all these teachings are mostly from my community or anything I share on Twitter. A lot of ideas like SPY breakout and anything I share with you guys from YouTube. We trade repeatable system. Thousands of traders use my trading system to trade successfully. We use repeatable setups day in, day out. We have every day, we have a plan for the day. We have our watch list, game plan. You can see this is the game plan. We have our levels. We have all the scanners. We have everything in our community, right? Over 1,000+ traders trade in the community. I'm on the voice and guiding everybody through various trades. And yeah, so that's just a quick introduction. And I'm just gonna go through all the plays we had on game plan and what was my comments. A lot of my comments are on voice, so I can't show you that, but I'll definitely show you my timestamp comments on anything that I put it in the alerts tab. All right, let's start. So first of all, we're gonna start with all what we did with SPY and QQQ all day. So that's what we're gonna talk about. Initially, what was market doing in the morning, and what was it doing later, and when did we turn bullish on the market, and right. So we're gonna talk about all that, because initially market was not doing anything, but today the 10 a.m. concept, again and again I teach the 10 a.m. concept, that came in handy. So we will talk about all that, how it came out. Before I do that, let me just show you what was I looking for today, right? Let's go and let me show you, right? So yesterday, where is it? Let me see if I can find that. Yesterday's idea we had might be there somewhere. Okay, right here. Okay, so yesterday I posted this idea of the breakout weekly, right? What is this? This is a weekly consolidation, 1 week, 2 week, and you can see there was a resistance. This is a breakout setup. Once, twice, thrice. Once it clears, you see I say once bid clears over 575, we're gonna get a breakout. And that was yesterday, and this is today. You can see that, right? Before, after. So you can see that. Now, how you make money with that? That's fine, right? We have a setup, and how you make money with that. That's how we trade intraday, right? So that's why we trade intraday. So as soon as market opened, we were watching SPY. Initially, SPY was heavy. SPY was the morning, right? 9:30 trade. So first we are looking at the market for the 9:30 trade. So at the 9:30, let's see if I can show you that here. So yeah, so before 9:30, there's we were bearish. Market was not doing anything. Same for QQQ, 1 candle, 2 candle, they were red. So we were kind of bearish, but nothing A plus. We were still holding the 3450 EMA clouds, still holding the 3450 EMA clouds. But right at 10 a.m., right, the 10 a.m. concept. If you don't know the 10 a.m. concept, go to ripstereducation.com, read that concept at the ripstereducation.com. I have explained it there as well in the community. I explain it, or you watch my previous YouTube videos. So at 10 a.m. we got this breakout, right? And that's when I said 10 a.m. long confirmed. QQQ also need a breakout, and right. And after that, we were just trading the breakout, and then we broke 575. That was an all-time high breakout. It was yesterday highest breakout, and a lot of guidance, by the way, on SPX as well by tape in the community. People really, it was a very green day for everyone. Literally the call options went more than 100% for everybody, especially those who trade 0 DTEs. But even if you don't trade that, you can trade SPXL or any kind of those shares. That will work as well. But the important thing to know here is that we were doing an all-time high breakout, right? That was important thing. So that's why we were strong, right? That's why we were confident about this setup. So you can see that I haven't talked about the flag. So I said flag, also flag. You can see my comments, right? All day that was a 1041, right? The flag, and we break out and we break out and we break out, and a big bullish day. This is where you make money. Breakout, breakout, breakout. And I continually told everyone that you can roll with profits. You make 4 grand, take 1 grand out of it, throw it in your other options, right? If you're trading options, right? You don't really have to trade options. You can buy SPXL, you can, you could buy that, or you can buy, any other leveraged ETF to trade the market long. The same was for QQQ, right? What I'm saying here. Let's see if I can show you that breakout confirmed long there as well, right? So 491 was log, some profits there. And again, that was from 10 a.m. SPY confirmed, then QQQ confirmed, right? So and at that point, after that, is just managing your trade, right? I kept telling people to just roll, roll, roll. You can see we almost target our 100%, 100 ATR, right? That's what we're looking for. If you're looking for 100% ATR move to make more profit on the market, today we did 80% ATR. That's fine, right? That's good enough. QQQ was 70% ATR, and then finally we broke, and I told everybody to exit. So this was the long, right? So the long of SPY almost went $4 here. QQQ went not a huge range today, but it's still not bad for a $3 range. And that's how you make money on the options, right? And you follow the EMA Clouds all the way. I'm not going to go into details about all that, but this was a SPY QQQ long trade. No hindsight, no BS. You can see my confirmed comments here. And we were not ready to long in the morning. Here we were not long, so the long came here. 10 a.m. concept. There's always a trend change 10 a.m. concept. Frankly, I didn't even use VIX much, although I did give the VIX strategy that if we break that 2140 30s, we will fade and SPY will push. So VIX strategy also came in hand there. You can see this level where VIX broke down. So anyways, because of that, literally amazing trade by community there. Great, lot of SPX trades there. Great guidance by tape in the community. You see how many people traded SPX. I probably will do another big webinar on SPX. It's a different beast. It's risky, and it's also very lucrative. Anyways, that was SPY QQQ, guys. Beautiful day. You didn't really need to trade anything if you're just trading the SPY QQQ today, because it was all-time high breakout on SPY, and QQQ followed. Even though the semis were weak, everything was not running. We'll talk about it. But the best thing that was running today was Apple, right? Apple was leading the SPY. Apple is most of the SPY, right? So it was leading here. Look at the Apple level. So Apple was 225, 225.89, 226. The levels I gave in the morning. You can trade SPY or you can trade Apple, breakout here at 10 a.m. So Apple ran, kept SPY going with it. Beautiful trades, beautiful long. This is which most of the traders in the community traded. Let's look at some other place. All right, so the next one we're going to discuss is Google short this morning. So let's see what was happening with Google here. So initially Google was holding pretty strong, and I was thinking that if market kind of becomes a little heavy, we will short Google, because guess what? Google had a bad news. So Google, this is our game plan facing possible breakup by DOJ, and we had our levels, so it was the main news. I was in the pre-market planning. I did tell everyone that I am watching Google for a short, 163.49, 163.16. Initially it was pushing, so I didn't do anything. Initially it was pushing, I didn't do anything, but then I saw the rejections and market heavy. Right away I took a short because it gave me a very nice opportunity. Let's see if I can show you. Where's that? 1 second here. Okay, so I shorted close to 164, 163.73. That's where I shorted 4,000 shares, because I was looking for this breakdown on the fade, right? And then I covered my risk here, half size, and then I really covered into the 160s. So that was a nice 512 breakdown versus MTF Cloud. That was a nice, almost $3 short trade for us in the community, right? And it was easy setup. Defined risk, right? MTF, 1 hour MTFs, and then there's this daily MTF, and I was talking on the voice about that. So it was an A plus. There's a bearish news. It's breaking. There's MTF cloud resistance. So everything comes together to give us a nice trade, right? This was my first target here. I think I did cover most of it a little early. I think I was a little early on covering here, but I could have, hold it a bit more. But it was a nice profitable trade. You know, I did get almost $1.50 personally there. So that was a good one. Let's go to the next one. So next one we're going to quickly talk about is SMCI. Let's look at SMCI. So SMCI was our day 2 setup, right? Let's look at my day 2 sheet. It was the number one day 2 setup. It was 445, 445, resistance was 46. And right at open, SMCI turned bullish. Right at open, you see that it's over the MTF cloud one, over both the MTF cloud. So it's bullish, right? 1 hour is bullish and daily is also trying to turn bullish. So you see that change in the character. 1 hour bullish, 10-minute bullish, daily is bullish, and and it's a good trade. Well, this is the breakout, your stops under that. And SMCI went on to run for like from $46 all the way to 49.35. We were targeting like 50 was our target, but even at 10 a.m. was giving the 48 target, and then we did hit 48, and we actually then almost hit close to over 50 target. Was a great was a great guidance by RGV and the others on the trading floor. RGV was on top of it on SMCI, and there's also a lot of flow coming in. If you see that, lots of all our flow scanners were screaming SMCI calls, so there was a lot of flow coming in as well. So SMCI was a nice winner. Repeatable day 2 day 3 setup, repeatable strategy that I discuss often. I did a free webinar on YouTube, on Twitter as well regarding that. Next, we're gonna just discuss all the cruise lines. So let's see what was the plan on cruise lines. So all the cruise lines, I don't know if you could see that they were on our RCL, NCLH, CCL. City turned bullish, right? City turned bullish, and my plan was it has a daily breakout and bullish bias. So what is the daily breakout? So this was the breakout I was talking about. Daily breakout right here, NCLH, daily breakout right here. You can see that those daily breakouts that we were, the power of the daily breakout. So this was NCLH. You can call it weekly, but now I think it was daily. And there was also similar breakout on CCL. So that's why I mentioned that in the pre-market planning that it was a daily breakout, RCL and H daily breakout. So this is how you plan in the pre-market. You read your daily chart and see what they are doing, and those are the cruise lines. CCL and NCLH, and daily breakout, game plan, no need to cut. There were good trades. I wasted too much time on the China names at the open. Otherwise, I would have had a traded focus them on them earlier. But regardless, it was a perfect trade as per our game plan, and you can see that how it went from the game plan all day. So there was a call out, nice guidance by Lexi as well on NCLH on that breakout. You can also call it a weekly breakout. Yeah, I mean, if a bigger picture, it was also a weekly breakout there as well. Yeah, I think it was a weekly breakout later. Initially, it was a daily breakout, and then it was a weekly breakout. Definitely good setups. So next one was one of our earning plays this morning. It was HELE and the Troy, HELE. So let's look at HELE. What was it doing today? So HELE was gapping up. It was a morning long, and then it was a 512 fade. So let's look here on HELE. So HELE was a morning long, pulled back to 512s, held 512s, pushed towards 77, through $3, and then it broke 512 later in the day, and that was a fade here. This was a basically, you do a 512 shorts on HELE. That should work too. Make some money back on the downside and also on the upside. Not crazy mover on the upside, but the downside was a good as well on this one. So there you can see the two setups: morning long, and then midday short on 512s. All right, let's talk about snow now. So snow was an idea that I even tweeted out. If I can see, let me see if I can find that. Snow was an idea that this is where the importance of your daily charts come in handy that I keep talking about, right? How important they are, because no hindsight for me. Everything I will show you is before and after. See if I can find that. Okay, here you go, right? So on October 4th, I posted this setup that this is your risk level, this is the risk zone, and this is where it start reversing. This 114, 115 area, right? We traded the long other day as well, and today it triggered. So it triggered this. Even I said that in the morning that area started to go. Even before that, I posted on Twitter the snows triggered long right here. Right then when I saw the breakout, because I already know that it's a daily reversal setup. I already know that. That's why I told everyone that snow pullback on watch, long it. I was on the voice, and I was trying to show them the same thing, right? You see that, right? How it's so that's a daily setup. That's a repeatable daily chart pattern that gives you high confidence. And if we had a gap over that, it would have been even nicer. It becomes a gap reversal trade, right? So I also put it in the swing chart. Now it's a swing. Now it's a swing. So I put the swing idea. Basically, the swing idea was, anywhere is 113, 114, and where your stops will be lower. So even that day, when we took at 112s, if you took at 111s, define risk at 107s. But good thing about snow is it never really broke down this MTF clouds. You see that 20 EMA? So it never really broke down of that if you see closely. So that would have been good place to hold. And you could see there's a support, there's a support, there's a support, and then it pushes higher, right? That's what I mentioned in the morning. So again, everything, and I'm very proud of a lot of traders who really nailed it today in the morning. First thing I mentioned, right at the open. So basically, you can trade this flag, long the flag, and ride it all day. MTF breakout, ride it all day. Now it's a swing, so we'll see what it does tomorrow. Ideally, it should hold this 118, 117 area. Otherwise, it's going to pull back to the 1 hour clouds. So snow was really, really good in the community and very nice trade by mostly everyone. Amit did nice on snow, so yeah, snow was a pretty good trade, and there was a flow as well. There was a lot of flow on snow as well that we catched in the community. The options really went, I think they went 100%, was it? Yeah, something like that. 180% they went there. So beautiful trade today, snow. So you see that, right? The daily chart setups and the breakout setup. So understand what I'm showing you here before and after on snow. Okay, so this was the daily chart setup which helped us make money intraday, right? And that was the flag setup. You could take an entry here on 10-minute if you want, right? So if you got it right at the open, that's good enough. But if you miss that, you take that flag entry. All right, let's look at the next one. Next one I'm going to talk about is Tesla. So Tesla initially was a bearish for us at the open. Let's see if I can show you that. So Tesla was heavy at the open, right? So I said heavy at open, short, it's a short at open. So you short that open, if you're trading at the open, 930, 932s, 945s, you fade it from like 243s to 230, 40s, quick scalp. And then once it reclaims the MTF clouds, right, this area, this is where it becomes long. This is where I mentioned it long. This is where I mentioned it long. So this is where we longed it. So I was on the voice, and because we have a robotaxi event, so I was kind of thinking that the Tesla cult might push it, and we did get right. So you can see that at 10 a.m. right, this reversal came at 10 a.m. This is when it came, and I did tell everybody to cover their shorts this range, and you could start along right here, put your stops under this 10-minute candle, start alongs here, put stops right somewhere here, and and it worked out nicely for us, right? 243.50s and went to 247s. The 245 calls moved nicely from like $750 to went to $9. But we sold some, but we had kept a little, and then when it broke this, we had to sell. And then it was choppy all day. I couldn't trade this, I couldn't trade this up down action. So I personally left it alone. It was heavy, right? So you don't want a long Tesla rest of the day because it's heavy. You see, it's a downtrend line, downtrend, 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 downtrend. So you want to avoid those, right? Compare it to the Apple, and you want to long this. This is what you want to long. You don't want to long this. You want to long this, right? I cover it in, because it's half the battle won. If you're avoiding these setups and going here, these are much better setups, even though you will say, oh, it's already up high. Nothing is up high. You just need to find a risk level. For example, it was holding nicely 10-minute candles right here. That was a nice push there as well on Apple. But anyways, I digress. But I was trying to compare Tesla and Apple here, so you understand why not to trade Tesla. And same thing was with AMD today and NVDA. So both of them, you're not supposed to long them today. Even though market was bullish, but semis were getting sold, right? So I told AMD short at the open, nor do not long it, and the short went nicely. So half the battle is won when you know this is not a long. When you know that this is not a long, right? This is not a long. You know that this is not a long, right? This even Tesla gave us, we were lucky to get that big move, but you could see that the trend is down, right? We are under the 3450 Ripster EMA Clouds. So it's not a it's a waste of time. You try to long the curls, you fail, you lose money. Try to long the curls, it fails, you lose money, right? Same thing with the NVIDIA. You try to long, fail, lose money. So that's why I said, do not touch it. C minus. Do not touch it. C minus, C minus, C minus, right? So rather than just trying to long these AMD, NVIDIA, long Apple, long Snow, to take those big bullish trades. You don't have to trade these, right? So those are much better setup than others ones. All right, let's talk about China now. China again, same thing. They gap it down so much that there's no meat left to short it, and it goes up and it chops, and that's what did. I cannot trade this. Just like I'm compared this to Apple or just compare it to Snow. Right? You see the trend, right? See the trend and see the trend here. So I cannot trade this 10-minute candle up and down. We did scalp PDD long at the open, and then it flushed. I personally I didn't touch it, but I did tell community that we can short it. It's a good short setup, but again, as expected, they swiped it right back. So that was a loser idea in the community on that 3450 short. But yeah, China, not going to waste time on it from tomorrow. Not going to focus. It takes too much time away at the open. I'm going to focus at the other plays. If China shows some crazy range, crazy volume, we'll see. But China would most likely hold sideways choppy until the October 12th event that they have by Chinese Finance Ministry. So just a couple of other recaps, guys. My day 2, day 3 strategy, Pepsi was a big winner for us yesterday. Big winner for us yesterday, and today Pepsi was also on our day 2, day 3 setup as well. And our levels were right here, and then it did pull back to 3450, breakout all day long. So that was another one. So let's see which other one was there. Yeah, there was VKTX. Today was VKTX short. Right, today was VKTX short, 3450 breaks. That's why we have them as day to day 3 setups. So day to day 3 setups, 67.3, you short under those levels. So those were, there were many other plays as well. Again, Nike was a day 4 long. You see turnover MTF Clouds, so that was a good one. I didn't do any guidance on this one. I completely missed it, but just want to mention it, that how these day to day 3 setups kind of work, so you can use them. There were other plays. Market was very bullish. A lot of our game plan plays were going today. We didn't need to trade much because our SPY, QQQ, Apple, Google, those kind of trades made money in the morning. So we didn't really, you don't have to trade everything, right? I'd show you this recap so you can see how the setups work. So this was ANET all day long, and this was Uber all day long. And I think I did mention Uber long as well, and you can see the game plan here. Look at the game plan on Uber. Trade versus MTF below. ANET, bullish bias to long pullbacks. So it never really pulled back to MTF, but regardless, it broke out of the upper pivot I gave and went on to run pretty hard. And same for ANET, right? MTF bounce right here and continue to push. So those are some nice trades today. All right, guys, trying to keep the videos small. Been so good a week for us. If you want to trade with us, you can join the community. We're not an alert service. Don't come for alerts. Come for guidance and learning. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.